Hey guys, it's Tessa. Today I'm a little bit of a different spot just because my husband is still working and I didn't want my talking to get in the way of him finishing his work. I finished a little bit early today, so I thought I would sit down and just do a little video with you guys going over wearables that I have that have earned their spaces in the closet. Today we're starting with the cardigan I've already showed you guys. And it's the cactus in a lace. I believe it's called the Haven Cardi. The only difference in changes I made on it, I think I mentioned this in Saturday's video actually. But the only changes I've made on it in its overall design was just adding a button band with buttons and doing the button band and cuffs using knitting instead of crocheting. I personally am not a big fan of the way crochet ribbing looks. Or I don't mind how it looks, I don't like how it stretches over time. And when it comes to knitting, I don't feel it stretches as abruptly, like as much. So there are a couple changes I still want to make regarding this that I kind of just need to fine tune. The buttonholes, let's see if I can show you. So the buttonholes are a little stretched out on one side, so the buttons constantly pop off. So I just need to go in with some of this yarn and essentially just like weave a little bit tighter into it so it can't stretch out as easily. But yeah, otherwise I really like wearing this cardigan. It's made of 100% cotton and it's the 24/7 cotton by Lion brand, I believe. It's not the DK version, it's just the normal one. Also, sorry if you hear any background noise. There's some construction happening around my apartment complex. But yeah, all of the items I'm going to show you guys today also are things I made, or the remaining items, except for one cardigan, are all things I made free-handed with no pattern based around it. But yeah, let me give you a better shot of this and then we'll move on to the next item. So the item I'm currently working that I'll show you here in a second, it is based off of a YouTube video. I'll try to include the name if I can find it, like here. But it is using extended half double crochets, and then you essentially make a really long trapezoid, fold it in half, make a second one, and then connect it together. I'll give you a better view of it here in a second. But yeah, so it took, I think, like 7 hours to do. Just because this was a couple years ago when I had really just started getting into crocheting again. I try to challenge myself every holiday season, so Christmas-ish time, to make one wearable garment. 2 years ago it was this. Last year, or the year before last, I believe I made something for, I think I made a wearable for as a gift instead of myself. And then last year I overcommitted on Christmas gifts for my husband and just ran out of time and I couldn't complete one in time. I ended up making him I knitted him some mittens. I also made our Christmas stockings that year, which took way too long. But yeah, I just overcommitted on them. I made 2 of them, fairly large, a very intricate color work, or maybe not intricate, but just a lot of color work. So that was kind of part of the problem. But yeah, here's a quick look at this top. Alrighty, next is essentially, it's basically a hexie cardigan, but I ended up adding a panel in the center of the back of it so that I didn't have like the point at the back of my neck. And I also didn't really do it as a granny square style where it's just like the 3 double crochets, chain 1, so on and so forth. Instead, I just crocheted across, and on certain rows we have a pine stitch looking design. This one was supposed to be more of like a summer wear / I'm just a little bit cold, not really, let me just pop something on. But I was dumb and made it out of acrylic. So anytime it's slightly too warm, I completely overheat immediately. But I still really like it. I spent a lot of time on it, and I think if maybe I just lived somewhere that wasn't so hot, that it might be a bit better to wear. But yeah, here you go. So you can't really see it here. So this top I made again a couple years ago, but it's made it to the honorable mentions of the closet. There we go. So this top made it to the honorable mentions of the closet because one, it's one of the first wearables I made again after not crocheting for so many years, and two, because it's actually fairly comfortable. The only real problem with it is I just wish it was a little bit longer in the front. Like it comes down far enough in the back, but just not enough in the front. Plus the way I constructed the straps is a little funny, which you'll see here in a minute. But overall, I had a lot of fun making this. I meant to say in the last clip as well that the top I was just wearing, the holiday one I made, is made from Pound of Love by Lion Brand as well. I believe in the hunter green color, I can't remember. But this guy is made in, again, the 24/7 cotton, not the DK one. I really like it. It is in like a nice light, not necessarily white color, but not like a full cream either. It's more like an off-white, I guess you could say. But it really is just constructed with 4 full granny squares, or styled granny squares, and then 4 halves as well to make it just like a simplistic top. I'm currently working on a pattern that'll be something like this, but it's more of like a, I think they're called halter tops, where it'll be straight across here and then not connect in the back. You'll have to tie that. But yeah, here you go. So the final item, which you essentially just saw, like I mentioned, is the exact same Haven cardigan by Cactus and Lace. Instead though, this was the original draft I made, so I modified 2 of the stitches on this because I wasn't really a big fan of how this yarn was working with it. This is the Karen Cloud Cakes, I don't remember the color, but the problem I was having is because of how the cloud cakes exist, essentially, it just wasn't sitting correctly, or I would start splitting the fiber. I would start splitting the fiber instead of actually just crocheting with it. So I modified 2 of the stitches. On the first green one you saw, there are 2 stitches that have a chain 1 space in them. And the way those stitches work is it's a extended double crochet and the bobble stitch, bean stitch, I don't know, I've seen it under a couple different names, and it's commonly lumped together with another type of stitch with similar name. I'll give you a closer view, or I think I gave you guys a closer view of it. But this one was the original draft, so I modified the extended double crochet to just be a treble crochet, and then instead of doing the bean or bobble stitch, whatever you want to call it, I ended up doing something similar to essentially decrease double crocheting and then chaining in between, so that really I'm not losing any stitches, but I'm still having the like bulk in there of that row. This one is constructed with a single crochet cuffs as well as a rather small single crochet band. But yeah, here you go. This next item is something that I think would just be better suited for a city or state that is just not so warm. The last project I showed you, the orange cardigan thing, is made also of 100%, or excuse me, is also made of the Pound of Love by Lion Brand, and this is also mostly constructed from that brand as well. You can see a theme here, just a little. But yeah, so this is constructed using 6 rather large, essentially granny squares, seaming them together, and then also adding tassels, which is really nice. It comes with a hood as well that has its own tassel too. Not the biggest fan of the hood, but I think it works better than not having a hood on it at all. Like, I think this positioning looks better. But yeah, so it's mostly constructed of the Pound of Love. I can't remember the color. I want to say it's like taupe or something like that. That's essentially what the color looks like, so I'm guessing that's the name. If it's not, I'll note it right here. And then the green is the Big Twist Worsted or Value or something like that. And it's in the color Olive. They recently redid a lot of their colors and now I can't find this color anymore, which makes me really sad. Or at least my Joann's isn't stocking it, maybe is the case. But it makes me really sad because I really love this shade of green. But yeah, here you go. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I know it's not too long this week, but again, work has been kind of crazy recently, the last like 3 weeks or so. It's supposed to die down soon so that I'll have more time to do more fun videos or longer videos. But yeah, so I hope you liked any of those. Let me know if you do like any of those that I showed you today down below, and I will do my best either making a pattern or making a video for you about it. And maybe we can kind of go over how things are constructed, how I made them, and things like that. Let me know what else you want to see from me. Alright, bye!